we just got a new trailer drop
Okay.
from Jenna Ortega's "Hurry Up Tomorrow." I
Okay.
want to bring it up and check it out and react with you guys
Mhm.
because I as much as we herald her here, she's been in a couple of indie flops as far as these movies coming out and not making any money. And then there was just a movie released on Paramount Plus, no fault of her own because of her co-star and his Me Too troubles. That got no theatrical release. Winter, spring, summer, fall it's called. She's got Wednesday coming up, but she kind of needs a little bounce back from Beetlejuice from last year. Cameron, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I don't know if she needs a bounce back. I mean, she's a star. We talked about her early on. She's a movie star, and movie
Hmm.
stars have their ups and downs. I mean, we don't sit around saying Brad Pitt didn't do that well in that last movie. We just follow their careers, and so yes, he was in the Unicorn movie, right? I don't know how it did financially, but people seem to like it. So I mean, I'm just glad to see her working because again, she's a star of our generation. So I'm
Well,
always
let's bring
interested
it
to see
up.
what she does. Yeah, let's see what she does. I can see it visually from here.
Let's bring it up. What we got from discussing film, new teaser, Hurry Up Tomorrow, starring The Weekend and Jenna Ortega. The thriller follows a musician on the verge of a mental breakdown who is pulled into an odyssey by a mysterious stranger. In theaters, May 16th. This is directed by Trey Schultz. Great horror, what does he call, like a psychological thriller horror guy? He's tops. Let's blow this up. Can you guys see that, Fletcher?
Yes.
Got the volume up, and here we go.
I know this is all really intense. I'm really sorry about this. I really am.
Hello? Call me by the old familiar name.
I know this is all really.
Hey, that was it? No, come on.
It's a teaser. It's just a few seconds.
New teaser.
Yeah.
Cameron, thoughts?
Well, I mean, I didn't get enough information for to have thoughts, right? So,
Mhm.
I mean, what's happening there? I mean, I
Fletcher.
don't. I didn't really get it. I mean,
Uh,
what's I didn't get it.
yeah.
Fletcher.
It's one of these like music video movies, huh?
Okay, so
Um,
that's not a useful teaser, right? I thought the Fantastic Four teasers were pretty good, right? Because you're like already get a sense of what this movie's gonna feel like. I don't know what the hell this is.
I have to agree with you. I'm kind of disappointed that this new teaser drop. I'm waiting for a scene with dialogue between these characters. It's a little too music video-y, absolutely. And I get that. I can't even get what Jenna's. If she's a mysterious stranger, everything's still mysterious after this teaser.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
yep, go
we'll
ahead.
have to see. We'll have to see because already, if I saw seeing that teaser makes me concerned that either the director or the studio, whoever's behind this, isn't confident about this because they're not showing anything of the story, they're not even getting you any sense of it. Like I don't know what the
Mhm.
hell that was, right? And again, I just said a minute before that I'm excited to see what Jenna does. Well, I'm not excited to see her in a bad movie, and I'm nervous now because this teaser don't seem like it has any self confidence in telling us the story.
Well, and then you have Jenna Ortega, and then you have Barry Keoghan. Is that how you say his name? Say his name? Barry
It's
Keoghan.
Irish here. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, great actor. And then you have this great director. But this movie stars The Weekend, so everything kind of fall on this guy's shoulders as far as acting wise, Fletcher. And we've gone through this. It's very rare that a musician goes right into a starring role and knocks it out of the park, Fletch.
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying to do a lot of this. If you look at some of his videos, he
Hmm.
tries to do these extended type of music videos where he tries to, I don't know, he's trying to do new Michael Jackson or something like that. Um, and he kind of convinced some people to give him money, and he did this thing in HBO, The Idol, with
Right.
he did that, I think, with Lily Rose Depp. And then he had a lot of young up and coming stars, uh,
Okay.
including, I believe, one of them was uh, think it was one from Blackpink, which is one of the hottest girl bands in the world. Jenny, I think, was part of it. And so they were really hyping it up as like this up and coming type of artist conclave where we're gonna blend music and entertainment, and he builds himself kind of like an actor, a tour.
Mm.
It just hasn't been, successful in the connection, I think, because it doesn't really hasn't been able to connect, probably, with audience. I think also because it's a little bit, it's out there, certain topics and certain styles. Sometimes you have to kind of explain it to an audience, and much like we see it right now, this is we don't know what this is. So you're like, oh, it's the weekend. He can do anything. And that's kind of like what you're just, you're supposed to just buy whatever he sells. And I don't know if maybe that branding is it's going places right now, because even famous people, right now, like Lady Gaga or Beyonce, they're having not as easy a time as to pushing some of their new stuff out there. I think even Beyonce was selling tickets at a discount, and so you're
Really?
just,
Okay.
yeah. I think things are changing, and like, the money's tight for some people, and maybe a lot of the things that people thought that the artists were creating were not really for the fans but for themselves. uh, because the music's a little bit different, the style's a little bit different, and you're kind of going, this is just kind of like them pushing the something that they want to do, kind of like a pet project, onto
Hmm.
the fans, and it's not really been, selling. Like I said, he's been doing a lot of these kind of like extended thing. He did some stuff with Ariana Grande, he did some stuff with Doja Cat, where things are kind of like, okay, these are like an extended type of you know videos and stuff like that. And he
Hmm.
does like extended music videos, and he's really trying to push this whole like blending of the two, like the art world and the music world, and kind of like, TV cinema.
Can let's yeah, go on, Fletch.
Yeah, so I don't know what this one is about. I think it's, from what I think I heard, is something kind of like a, like Jenna's a fan or something like this. Um,
Well, yeah, it looks like from this trailer that she's a stalker,
yeah,
but obviously, and then she has him tied up here, and but then it can't just, and then she's burning stuff up, so it can't just be a night with a stalker. I mean, maybe it's your worst nightmare, and and Jenna goes nuts or something like that.
yeah, it looks like it's something like, it's, to me. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, from when I heard everything, it's like he's trying to do Almodovar, and he's been trying to do this a while. I think it's just not hitting
Ah.
with American audience, because Almodovar is not really American audience style.
Talking about Pedro Almodovar, from Spain, very avant-garde, subversive, brilliant director. He discovered Antonio Banderas back in the late '80s. That's who Almodovar is. He's very influential with a lot of, I love a lot of his films. But go on.
Yeah, so I think what he's trying to do, I mean, I could be wrong, but he could be doing "Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down" is what I'm getting from the trailer.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
that's the only thing that I can think of from this because if you guys don't know, if you guys haven't watched it, the movie basically is a stalker who catches a fan, but they kind of fall in love and they kind of do like a venture type deal afterwards together. So I think this is what it feels like. It feels like they're gonna do something. She's the one. It gets on him, but then you know. Unfortunate events ensued or something, and they have to kind of go on the run. And so I figured it's kind of like a heist. Tie me up, tie me down. That's the only thing that I can think of because I think he's just doing a music video Almodovar. So that's just my take on it. So
Yeah, and bringing this up, this is from the 1991 or 92 film Tie Me Up, Tie Me Down. Um, the story is Banderas' character gets out of the insane asylum and he's in love with Victoria Abril's character, who is a famous movie star who's got her own addiction problems. He literally kidnaps her, and at the end of the movie, she falls in love with him. And that's him getting beat. That he gets beaten up because he goes to get her drugs to keep her addiction going. I mean, that movie is insane, but I loved it. Right? Atame, yeah, yeah. Victoria Abril. So this you're saying it could be a play off this?
that's the only thing that I can think of.
I mean, that's kind of cool, but
Yeah, it depends on the.
and you got a great director. You do have a great director, but that's very audacious of the weekend. Um, but this is one of my all-time favorite movies. Says a lot about me. Hey, I was using a lot back then. So hey, you never know.
It's
So
yeah,
so
it's an
let so let me
unusual
jump
film.
in.
Yeah,
Let
yeah,
me
jump
jump in
in,
here. I'm
brother.
Oh,
still
you're
trying to
back.
get on the 4-5. I'm still trying to get on the
That's
four
right.
or five. I should have been at my meeting's in 10 minutes. I'm going to be 20 minutes late. I'm still trying to get on the 4 or 5. It's so stupid, but whatever. So let me jump in. So look, Fletcher's analysis is very deep, and I think he's right. And really appreciate that level
Great,
of
great
great
analysis.
analysis. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's a really deep stuff. So thank you, Fletcher. The only thing I can add to it is I agree because Fletcher voiced and gave flesh to my instincts because I didn't make all these connections. I just knew that the weekend's been trying to do this stuff because remember the Idol, I don't think that was well received and it was seen as a weirdo artsy thing. So I think the weekend uh imagines himself to be Almodovar, some of these other great Spanish auteurs, but he's not. And so far he hasn't been able to get the audience to fall in love with his material. This trailer did make me fall in love with it, and so it's it strikes me as, and I could be proven wrong. This might end up being a wonderful work of art that I want to see when it comes out. But let's assume that it's not that great. And if that's true, like the Idol wasn't that great, then if that's true, then I think Fletcher has hit the issue, which is I think the weekend doesn't know his audience for at least for filmmaking and doesn't know what his strengths are, which I think often happens with massively successful people in one genre. They don't understand that their egos and their yes men tell them they can do anything, and that their personal pet projects and vanity projects and their passions are not necessarily what their audience wants. A perfect example of that is actually Madonna. Madonna is obviously one of the great archetypal rock star musicians of the last 50 years. And remember back in the 80s and 90s when she tried to become a movie star and she just couldn't accept that she wasn't a good actress? She just couldn't accept it, right? And she kept making these bad movie after bad movie and was, from everything I've read, it's just like she just could not accept that she wasn't a good actress. Her brain couldn't process it, right? And so she kept doing it and kept insisting that the world is going to make swallow whatever garbage he was giving them. And I think the weekend has fallen into that, which I think is tragic. I think he should focus on what he's good at, and if it doesn't extend to this, then stop trying to make fetch happen because it's not going to happen.
Mm. Are you muted, Polly? You're muted, bro.
Yeah. So within this trailer, they are calling it a cinematic odyssey. Like they're being bold with this little teaser.
But remember the word, a surreal experience. That already tells me this is an art film. That already tells me this is guess what's a cinematic odyssey? Sinners is a cinematic odyssey, right? And it's also not surreal, even though it's magical. It's not surreal. This is Sinners is actually not an art film. It's a commercial film. This is an art film. I can tell from the trailer this is an art film, and they use the word surreal. So I don't think there's a market for this, and I think this is going to be bad. I think Jenna's going to come out of it fine because she's a movie star. But I hope
Do you
Slant.
though? That's my question is when does this start hurting Jenna's brand as a movie star and not and because she as of now she's a TV star who was in Beetlejuice, but that was more Beetlejuice that made some money. She hasn't her name hasn't been connected to, well, she was in Scream.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the franchise. That's not her. You've made
It's
a
a
fair comment.
franchise. But do you see what I'm saying, Cameron?
Maybe she just is a great TV star. Maybe that's all she is.
When does
Maybe
this
her taste is not that.
when do these art pieces start hurting her brand name? It's like, well, wait a minute, Jenna's not making money either.
Well, I think the public isn't actually her fans aren't seeing these movies, so I don't know that's hurting her brand name. They're not watching them, so they're not disappointed, right?
Okay. Fletcher, what are your thoughts there?
Yeah, I don't think none of this hurts her because everybody knows these are art films, and art films are movies that your wife forced you to go to. So it's not something that you're gonna lose. And Jenna, I think she's getting a brand for franchise films. Things that kind of
Mhm.
like what The Rock did. It was like, oh, your franchise is not working out. Let's just add The Rock or Jack Black. And I think that's what Jenna right now is doing in movies. But like you said before, she also is getting a lot of her, Miller's Girl and the Tyler Sheridan movie that you saw. So she is getting her dramatic chops also in place. So yeah, I don't think this hurts her at
Okay.
all, unless it's something where her fans could be turned off by.
Because
Um,
this one is kind of different. This is looks like it's for younger people. Let's go back to Jenna. So you don't think this is going to hurt her
it
if it's
depends
a
on what
flop?
she does in it.
That's true. That's true.
Like I
Okay.
said, if she does something that's untasteful to her fans, that could tarnish a little bit of the brand.
That's true.